Chosen one. Stop whatever you are doing right now. Not in a moment, not after you finish that thought. But now, what I am about to reveal will shatter every assumption you have held about your suffering and the spiritual war raging around you since the day you were marked. Something has been growing inside you, something that formed so quietly through every betrayal, every sleepless night, every moment when you chose love over hatred, that you had no idea it was taking shape, until it became impossible for the spiritual realm to ignore. You have developed a power that has heaven documenting your every move and hell studying you like a mystery they cannot solve. The enemy doesn't want to destroy it. He wants to understand it first. Because what you possess is something he lost the moment he fell from grace. And no matter how much he studies you, he can never get it back. Subscribe to this channel and turn on all notifications, because this message will permanently transform how you see every dark season you have survived, every attack you have endured, every wound that should have destroyed you but made you stronger instead. Write 777 in the comments if you have noticed something strange lately. Attacks that malfunction, people who came against you experiencing consequences. A spiritual atmosphere that has shifted from oppressive to cautious. Stay until the very end, because I am going to show you exactly what this power is, the precise moment heaven recorded it in your file, and what this means for the extraordinary assignment about to be released into your hands. Let me take you behind the veil, to a place where most humans never get access. There exists a realm of continuous spiritual observation that operates around every chosen one. Angels assigned to specific souls, documenting responses, recording choices, tracking internal battles that humans fight in complete solitude, invisible to every physical eye. Most of what gets recorded follows predictable patterns that have remained consistent since the Garden of Eden. Humans experience pain, they respond with pain. They encounter betrayal, they cultivate bitterness, they face injustice, they steep themselves in resentment. These are the well-worn paths of human reaction, carved deep by generations of wounded souls, passing their pain forward like a poisoned inheritance. But occasionally, something gets recorded that doesn't fit any established category. Something that makes celestial observers pause their documentation and request emergency consultation from higher ranks of heaven. Something that causes the very angels who witnessed the fall of Lucifer to lean forward with renewed attention. Your file triggered that request. Not because you did something wrong, because you did something they couldn't classify within any existing framework. You demonstrated a capacity that shouldn't be possible without decades of intentional spiritual training under masters who themselves spent lifetimes developing it. There is a law in spiritual physics that most humans never learn. Though it governs every interaction in both visible and invisible realms, energy cannot be destroyed, only transformed. When someone directs negative energy toward you, whether it is hatred, jealousy, resentment, curses spoken over your life, or silent wishes for your downfall, that energy has to go somewhere. It doesn't simply evaporate into nothingness. The vast majority of humanity absorbs this negative energy. They take it in, let it seep into their soul like poison into groundwater, and then they have only two options. They either hold on to it until it makes them physically and spiritually sick, manifesting as bitterness, depression, chronic illness, or spiritual death. Or they redirect it towards someone else who doesn't deserve to receive it, becoming unwitting carriers, hosts, distribution points for darkness itself. This is the normal human pattern. This is what the kingdom of darkness expects, counts on, builds its entire strategy around. Because when you absorb negativity and either internalize it or pass it forward, you become part of the infrastructure of evil. You become a node in the network that keeps pain circulating through the human realm like a virus that never dies, only finds new hosts. But you did something radically different, something that caught the attention of celestial observers, because it indicated a level of spiritual maturity that typically takes lifetimes to develop. Something that has a name in the records of heaven, though few humans ever hear it spoken. They call it frequency dominion. Let me explain what this means, because understanding this will revolutionize everything about how you see yourself, your past, and your future. Frequency dominion is the supernatural ability to receive negative energy directed at you, and transmute it into something entirely different before it can corrupt your core being. Not blocking it, not deflecting it, transmuting it. The difference is absolutely critical. When you block negative energy, you create a wall, and that energy bounces back to its source unchanged. Same frequency, same destructive potential, just redirected. The sender receives back what they sent, and the cycle continues. When you deflect negative energy, you send it bouncing off in another direction where it strikes an innocent bystander who wasn't even involved in the original conflict. Someone takes a hit meant for you, and you have just participated in the distribution of darkness. But when you transmute negative energy, you take what was meant to be poison, and you transform it at the molecular level into medicine. You change its fundamental nature through the power of divine love operating within you. Darkness directed at you becomes light that radiates from you. Hatred sent your way becomes compassion that flows through you. Curses aimed at your life become blessings that multiply around you like bread, multiplying in the hands of the Messiah. This is frequency dominion, and you mastered it without even knowing you were learning. Think back carefully over the last several months, perhaps the last few years. Think about specific situations where you were under direct attack. Not physical attack, though it may have felt that way. Spiritual attack, emotional attack, energetic attack designed to drain your life force and break your will to continue. Maybe it was a person whose eyes revealed genuine satisfaction at your struggles. Someone who spoke words about you designed to define you, limit you, destroy your reputation before you could rise to your calling. Someone whose presence felt like spiritual suffocation. Maybe it was circumstances that seemed specifically engineered by an intelligent, malevolent force to break your spirit. Everything going wrong simultaneously, every door closing at once, every hope being disappointed in rapid succession, until you wondered if hope itself was a lie you had been foolish enough to believe. In those moments, something happened inside you that you may not have consciously registered at the time. Instead of letting the attacks determine your internal state, instead of allowing the enemy to dictate your frequency, something within you processed them differently. You felt the pain. I am not suggesting you didn't. This isn't about spiritual numbness or emotional disconnection. You recognize the injustice. This isn't about naive positivity that refuses to see evil for what it is. But somewhere in that process, before the negativity could take root in your soul like a seed of destruction, a transformation occurred. You didn't become bitter. You became wiser. You didn't become hateful. You became more discerning. You didn't become closed off. You became more intentional about who deserves access to your energy. You didn't become cynical. You became more committed to your values precisely because you saw what happens when people abandon theirs. Do you see the miraculous difference? The same experience that would have destroyed someone else became development for you. The same attack that would have corrupted someone else became curriculum for you. The same poison that would have killed someone else became vaccination that made you immune to future attacks of the same nature. This is frequency dominion operating in real time, and heaven recorded every second of it. Your guardian angel, who has stood beside you since before you drew your first breath, noted the exact moment the transmutation occurred, noted the specific circumstances that triggered it, noted the internal battle you fought that no other human being could see, noted the choice you made in that moment of private agony when you decided that what hurt you would not define you. That report got flagged for special attention, because what you demonstrated wasn't just impressive moral character or strong willpower. It was spiritual technology that most humans never develop in their entire lifetime, even with intentional practice under spiritual masters. When this ability first began forming in you, it wasn't obvious. It started small, like the mustard seed that Christ spoke of. A situation where you could have responded with cruelty but chose restraint instead. An opportunity for revenge that presented itself perfectly, justified by every human standard. But you let it pass. A moment when you could have spoken words that would haunt someone for the rest of their life. Words they deserved to hear, but you swallowed them and stayed silent. Each of these micro-choices built something inside you, layer by layer, response by response, choice by choice. Each time you chose not to become what hurt you, the ability strengthened. Each time you refused to pass pain forward to someone who didn't deserve to carry it, the capacity expanded. Each time you absorbed darkness and transformed it into light through the power of love operating in you, you were being trained by the Holy Spirit Himself. Until eventually it became your default operating system. You stopped having to consciously choose transmutation. It started happening automatically, like breathing. Pain would enter your field, and before it could settle and make a home in your soul, before it could poison the well of your spirit, your soul would process it into something useful, something that contributed to your growth rather than your destruction. This automatic transmutation is what caught the attention of realms beyond human perception, because it indicated that you had graduated from conscious choice to integrated identity. You didn't just do transmutation anymore, you became a transmuter. Your very essence had been transformed into something that transforms darkness. And that, beloved, is extraordinarily rare. Now let me give you the evidence that this power is already operating in your life, so you can recognize it and begin to use it more consciously and powerfully. First evidence. You recover from wounds at supernatural speed. Situations that would have devastated you for months now affect you for days. Pain that would have defined entire years now becomes chapters you move through with surprising velocity. This isn't numbness. This is transmutation working efficiently. Second evidence. People who attack you experience mysterious consequences. Think about those who came against you recently. Where are they now? Compare their trajectory to yours. The energy they sent returned to them transformed, not as corruption, but as conviction, exposure, and consequences. This is what the scriptures speak of when they say that God warns, "Do not touch those I have anointed. Do not harm my prophets." Third evidence. You have developed paradoxical gratitude for painful experiences. You see past pain as necessary development. The worst experiences contributed to the best parts of who you are now. You automatically see growth potential in pain because you have mastered extracting it. Fourth evidence. Wrong alignments dissolve without your intervention. Draining relationships have ended naturally. People who were obstacles removed themselves. Your rising frequency makes you incompatible with certain people and situations. They simply cannot stay in the presence of your light. Fifth evidence. You sense a significant shift approaching. There is anticipation inside you that a major shift is imminent. This is spiritual perception operating at high levels. Your transmutation ability has heightened your sensitivity to spiritual movement and divine timing. Sixth evidence. You have become a stabilizing presence. When you walk into a room, the atmosphere shifts. When you engage with chaos, it begins to order itself. You are no longer subject to spiritual weather. You influence it. Seventh evidence. Darkness approaches you differently now. Attacks come with hesitation. Darkness approaches with caution. They have learned that attacking you is counterproductive. Every attack becomes fuel for your development. Now let me reveal why the devil himself became personally interested in your case, and what this means for the spiritual war you are fighting. In the hierarchy of darkness, there are systems of surveillance just as sophisticated as those in heaven, demons assigned to monitor specific humans. Intelligence reports filed regularly about progress or regression, strategies adjusted based on what is working or failing. Most of this operates routinely with predictable results. But the demons assigned to you started filing unusual reports. They were experiencing something they couldn't explain or defend to their superiors. The attacks they launched against you weren't just failing, they were somehow returning as something different. Energy sent with clear intention to corrupt was coming back transformed, like you possessed some kind of spiritual filtration system they couldn't penetrate, bypass, or understand. At first, the lower ranks assumed it was angelic interference. They thought your guardian angel was working overtime, running some kind of advanced protection protocol they hadn't encountered before. But when they investigated further, when they analyzed the mechanics of what was happening with their full intelligence capabilities, they discovered something that disturbed them at the deepest level. The transformation wasn't happening through external protection. It was happening inside you. You were the one converting the energy. You were the filtration system, not something protecting you from outside, but something operating within the core of your own soul, integrated into your very being. This information eventually reached the highest levels of the dark hierarchy. And when the devil himself reviewed your case, something unprecedented happened. He didn't order increased attacks. He didn't assign more powerful demons. He didn't escalate to more destructive strategies. He ordered observation, study, analysis. He wanted to understand how you were doing this. And here is what you need to understand about the enemy of your soul. He was once the highest angel, the most beautiful created being in all of existence, the most gifted with wisdom and ability. He had access to the presence of God in ways that other angels could only marvel at from a distance. But when he fell, dragging a third of heaven's angels with him in his rebellion, he didn't just lose his position, he lost certain capabilities, permanently, irreversibly, forever. One capability that fallen angels fundamentally cannot access is transmutation of the kind you possess. They can destroy, they can corrupt, they can twist and pervert and poison. They can take what is good and make it evil. But they cannot transform darkness into light. That direction of transformation is permanently closed to them by the very nature of their fallen state. Once fallen, they are always and forever limited to operating within the frequencies of that fallen condition. They can manipulate existing energy, they can redirect it, they can amplify it, but they cannot transmute it into something higher, something pure, something that belongs to the kingdom of light. This is why your ability fascinated him. You, a human being with all the limitations that humans carry, fragile body, limited lifespan, restricted perception, vulnerable to deception, you developed a capacity that he, with all his original power and ancient knowledge accumulated over millennia, can never access again. You can do something the devil cannot, and it is driving him insane with frustrated rage. He has been studying you, not to destroy you immediately, that would come later, but to understand you first. He wants to know the mechanics of your transmutation, wants to reverse engineer the process, wants to see if there is any way he can replicate or counterfeit what you do naturally, effortlessly, automatically. His best analysts, demons who specialize in understanding human spiritual development, entities whose entire purpose for thousands of years has been finding vulnerabilities in chosen ones and exploiting them systematically. They studied your history, analyzed your responses across hundreds of situations, tracked your patterns through every attack, every trial, every dark night of the soul, and their report came back with a conclusion that sent him into fury. The report stated that this ability cannot be replicated through their methods, because it emerges from a foundation they do not possess and can never recover. The foundation of transmutation is love, not romantic love, not emotional attachment, but the kind of love that exists as the fundamental frequency of creation itself. The love that God is made of, the love that was woven into the original design of human souls before the fall. The love that is the very substance of the kingdom of heaven. This love is what allows you to take something destructive and transform it into something constructive. Because love at its essence is creative force. When creative force encounters destructive energy, it has the supernatural option to recreate it as something entirely new. Fallen entities severed themselves from this creative love when they rebelled. They can no longer access it. It is not that they choose not to, they cannot. The connection was permanently severed by their own choice, and the door back was sealed by divine justice. So, no matter how much they study your transmutation ability, no matter how many reports they file, no matter how sophisticated their analysis becomes, they can never replicate it because they lack the foundation it requires. They lack the love that makes it possible. You have something the devil desperately wants but can never have, and every time you use it, every time you transmute another attack into another level of growth, you remind him of what he lost forever. You become a living demonstration of the difference between those who remained connected to divine love and those who severed themselves from it permanently. This is why the spiritual atmosphere around you has changed so dramatically. Now let me tell you what was officially recorded about your future, based on the mastery you have demonstrated, because this is where everything changes for you. When heaven recognizes a soul that has developed frequency dominion to master level, certain protocols activate automatically. One of these protocols is called accelerated fulfillment. Under normal circumstances, chosen ones receive their assignments and blessings according to carefully calibrated timelines, years of preparation before major responsibilities. Gradual increase before substantial provision, step-by-step progression toward purpose. This slower approach protects chosen ones from receiving more than they are ready to handle, more than their character can support. But accelerated fulfillment changes the timeline completely. It means heaven has determined that you have demonstrated enough to warrant faster advancement. The quality of your character has eliminated the need for extended preparation periods. What you have already proven qualifies you to receive ahead of schedule. Practically speaking, this means several things for your immediate future, and I need you to pay very close attention. Blessings that were scheduled for later seasons are being moved up on the divine calendar. Opportunities that weren't supposed to appear for years are being released now. Doors that had specific opening dates marked in heavenly records have been unlocked ahead of time. You have probably already started noticing this. Things happening faster than you expected. Movement in areas that had been completely stagnant for years. Progress that doesn't match the effort you are putting in because it is being supplemented by supernatural acceleration from heaven itself. This will continue, and it will intensify. The acceleration is just beginning. What you have seen so far is only the first wave. It also means that opposition is being systematically neutralized, not just blocked temporarily, but permanently removed from your path. Enemies are being reassigned to other targets. Attacks are being prohibited by higher spiritual authority. The normal resistance that slows most chosen ones down has been lifted from your path. Why? Because you have proven you don't need it anymore. You have learned what you needed to learn from resistance. Now, you are ready for momentum. But there is something else I need to tell you. Something recorded in your file that will shift your entire understanding of your identity and purpose. When a soul demonstrates master-level frequency dominion, a classification is assigned, a title that summarizes their core spiritual identity. This classification follows them for the rest of their earthly journey and into eternity. Your classification is being recorded as Frequency Master. Let me explain what this means for your calling. Everything in creation operates at specific frequencies. Lower frequencies correspond to fear, hatred, bitterness, despair, violence, greed, lust. Higher frequencies correspond to love, peace, joy, faith, hope, compassion, wisdom. Most humans oscillate between frequencies depending on their circumstances. Good day, higher frequency; bad day, lower frequency. Their internal state is completely determined by external conditions. They are thermometers, not thermostats. But a frequency master has stabilized at higher frequencies regardless of external conditions. They have learned to maintain their vibration independent of what is happening around them. And more than that, they have learned to use their stabilized frequency to transform lower frequencies that come into contact with them. This is you now. You are no longer subject to the spiritual weather around you. You have become someone who influences the spiritual weather itself. When you walk into a room, frequencies shift. When you engage with a situation, energy transforms. When you remain present in chaos, the chaos begins to order itself around your presence, like iron filings arranging themselves around a magnet. This isn't arrogance. This is recognition of what you have developed through years of faithful choices in the hidden place where only God could see. You have become a stabilizing force in whatever environment you inhabit, and heaven is about to leverage this in ways you haven't imagined yet, because the world is entering a season where frequency masters are desperately needed. Chaos is increasing globally. Fear is spreading like a pandemic. Lower frequencies are becoming dominant in many regions and populations. People are losing hope, losing faith, losing the ability to see light in increasing darkness. This is the environment into which frequency masters like you will be strategically deployed. Not to preach at people, not to lecture them about their low vibrations or judge them for their struggles, but to simply exist among them with such stabilized frequency that transformation becomes possible in your presence. You will not have to try to change anyone. Your frequency will do the work automatically, just like it already does in your immediate environment. But the scope is about to expand dramatically. The platform is about to grow. The sphere of influence is about to multiply, because that is what happens when heaven identifies a master. They don't leave them in small assignments indefinitely. They expand their territory to match their proven capacity. Now I need to share with you the personal message that was recorded for you when your file was updated with the Frequency Master classification. This isn't procedural documentation. This is personal communication intended specifically for your heart. When your file received the Master classification, a note was added. Not by an angel, by the Spirit of God Himself, and He instructed me to deliver it to you at this exact moment. So here it is, word for word as it was given to me. To my chosen one who is receiving this message, you have developed through pain what most never develop through practice. You have learned through suffering what many never learn through study. You have become through trials what few become through training. Your suffering was not meaningless. It was not punishment. It was not evidence of my absence or my lack of love for you. It was the furnace in which your transmutation ability was forged. It was the pressure that created the diamond. It was the storm that made your roots grow deep enough to support the tree I always knew you would become. Every wound that didn't destroy you contributed to an ability that cannot be destroyed. Every betrayal that didn't make you bitter made you better. Every attack that didn't break you made you breakthrough level powerful. You are now operating at a level that makes you valuable to heaven and threatening to hell in ways you don't yet fully comprehend. The enemy's obsession with understanding your ability is proof that you possess something he recognizes as genuinely powerful. His inability to replicate it is proof that your foundation is secure and unshakable. What you do naturally, effortlessly, automatically, is beyond his capacity permanently. This gives you authority in the spiritual realm that most humans never attain. Do not shrink from this recognition. Do not pretend to be less than what you have become. False humility serves no kingdom purpose. The world needs frequency masters who acknowledge their mastery, not those who hide it to make others comfortable. I am about to release you into assignments that will require everything you have developed. You will face opposition that would have destroyed the person you used to be. But you are not that person anymore. You are a frequency master. You are someone who transforms darkness. You are my demonstration to both heaven and hell of what is possible when a human soul remains connected to divine love through every test and trial. Walk forward into your calling with confidence. Not in yourself alone, but in the one who lives within you. Not in your own strength, but in the power of my spirit that has transformed you from the inside out. The acceleration has begun. The doors are opening. The assignments are being released. And you are ready, chosen one. This is not information to simply receive and forget. This is activation. This is commissioning. This is the moment when everything changes. You are a frequency master. Heaven has recorded it. Hell has acknowledged it. Now it is time for you to walk in it. Every attack against you from this moment forward is not a setback. It is raw material for your next breakthrough. Every challenge is not an obstacle. It is an opportunity to demonstrate your mastery. Every dark season is not defeat. It is the context in which your light shines brightest. You were made for this, trained for this, prepared for this through every single thing you have survived. Now go forward and transform the world around you. One frequency at a time by simply being who you have become. Write 777 in the comments if this message resonated in your spirit, because that number represents divine completion. And this is your season of completion of old cycles and initiation into new dimensions of calling. Your transformation is complete. Your deployment has begun. Walk forward. Frequency Master, heaven is watching. Hell is watching. And the world is waiting for someone exactly like you.